Hey everyone, today we're up here at the Eaton Transmission Proving Grounds just outside Battle Creek, Michigan. They've invited us up here to check out the new Endurant XD Pro transmission with a few of our friends. They have 4 test trucks set up for us. Let's go check out the test trucks and start driving. First up is a Century 5130 mounted on a 567 Peterbilt weighing about 35,000 pounds.
Nice natural feeling shifts.
Wow, very smooth.
It shifts smoother than I can.
Next up is a Kenworth T880 flatbed loaded with a bunch of test weight weighing about 70,000 pounds. We've also got a Kenworth T880 6-axle dump truck loaded with pea gravel weighing 65,000 pounds. And finally, we have a heavy haul Peterbilt 567 loaded with test weight weighing in at 145,000 pounds.
Eaton Proving Grounds is a little over 600 acres in Marshall, Michigan. It's where we do a lot of our commercial vehicle development and testing for the transmissions.
This test facility was amazing. I was just in awe.
We have a 1.5-mile oval with the outer lane being a banked oval like you'd see at a racetrack. It's 60-mile-an-hour speed limit in the straightaways.
I've never been to a place like this, and it was quite amazing.
It was really awesome to be able to try out their new transmission. This transmission's got a great feel to it. It seems to shift where I would shift myself if I was in a manual.
So at Eaton Proving Grounds here, we have what we call the large grades. And it's a single hill. It's a 15% grade on one side and 8% grade on the other.
So when are we gonna hook up and tow you said we're gonna tow the dump truck, is that right, Ken? That's what I'll be interested in.
Hi, I'm Ron Pratt from Midwest Truck out of Scott City, Missouri. Probably the most impressive was the heavy haul. Starting and stopping on the hill and going backwards.
We went up the hill both ways, then we actually stopped on the hill and took off from a dead stop with 145,000 going up. We went down the other side, we stopped and backed up the hill going in reverse from a dead stop. Yeah, the hill you stop on the incline, take your foot off the brake and the truck just sits there. It's totally amazing. You cannot do that with a manual transmission. You're sitting there stomping on the brake, just praying that it holds.
I have been doing the towing and recovery since the late 80s, so 30 years.
I have been in the tow and recovery business now for 5 years.
31 years. Some 44 years.
34 years.
33 years now. A Miller spec chassis to me means that Miller's already done all the research. They've figured out what's going to work best on my truck that I'm going to order. So they took all the work out of it for me, and I know what I'm getting is going to be right for the truck I'm buying.
They've figured out the best ratios, the best weights, everything. All I have to do is call them, tell them I want a red 5130 on a Peterbilt, and that's all I have to do. They've done all the hard work.
Miller's crew has put together the right truck and chassis. I tell them what I want, whether it's Peterbilt, Kenworth, Freightliner, International, whatever brand it is. I tell them what engine, what transmission, Miller spec. I know that when I get it, it's all gonna work together.
We're about to pull 65,000 pounds up a 15% grade. My name is Jeff Breeze. I work for Roberts Heavy Duty Towing as a heavy wrecker driver. I had a 65,000 pound tri-axle dump truck behind me that was loaded with gravel. As you see, she has no problem going right up it. It's pretty impressive that this automatic does it with no problems. It did it flawlessly.
Getting to go over the 15% grade with 145,000, and the truck will do it on its own, forwards, backwards, whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah, for me it was a weird transition, and I didn't want to do it because I was used to, changing my own gears and being in control of the truck. I've been driving it for 15 months now, and I'm starting to trust it a lot more than I did when I first took off.
So far, gear selection feels spot on. I'm Jeff Paquette. I own Southside Wrecker in Atlanta, and I'm also one of the hosts of Tow Business Podcast. One of the main issues we're having these days in hiring drivers is that the CDL drivers have an automatics only endorsement on their license. So it's becoming more and more important if we want to keep drawing enough people from the driver pool that can work for us. We're going to have to start having automatics for them to drive.
I really think that this version right in here is kind of hit the need for our industry.
Like I told my son Ethan, transmission's smarter than I am.
Well, really what I'm looking for is the smoothness between the shifts, both on the way up as well as on the way down. And right now I'm very pleasantly pleased. I'm John Hawkins with Miller Industries. I live in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and VP of the heavy duty product line. This is our fourth generation with the Eaton people and their automation into these automatic transmissions. The fuel efficient part is, you know, how it senses what we actually weigh, and wear and tear on the transmission is kind of reduced, and less fuel efficiency should be picked up. So it's pretty nice.
And then in high traffic situations, this automatic, you can't beat that. You know, because the guy can wear his knees out and pushing the clutch in and out.
I could get used to this in Atlanta traffic. Definitely could. It's really important to consider driver fatigue and comfort. The drivers, they work long hours, they drive a lot of miles. You want them as fresh as they can be throughout the day, throughout their shift.
First of all, what I'd think about is safety, and the less that a driver has to do in the cab, the better. So obviously with the automated transmission, driver fatigue is less.
Shifting gears and pushing the clutch pedal and having to think what gear to be in, having to think what gear to pull away in, having to think what gear to slow down in. You took it all away. They don't have to worry about it. It'll do it on its own.
A lot of truck drivers will tell you that no automatic can do what they can do with a manual, but she works pretty good.
I was skeptical when they told me about this. I put it through its paces, and it did everything and more that I could expect.
I was a believer, but there was a few things that I was concerned about. I am not concerned at all anymore. This transmission is a game changer.
I really enjoyed this experience up here with the Eaton guys, and the hospitality and an opportunity to get in and out of multiple vehicles weighing multiple weights. And we've got a tow truck with us actually picking up some 60,000 pounds to just show you exactly what we do with our industry. So it's been a good day. Good day.
Miller Industries, the world leader in towing and recovery equipment.